Hello, Ranger Architects. It is Tuesday, May 5. We are back on our elevation here. And so we worked on the roof last, and now we are kind of doing some more details on the front. And we are also going to turn this whole thing upside down so we can do the back of the house. So let's do front details first. So what do we got here? One thing that we have when we put in siding is the siding has to butt into something in the corner. So I put a corner mold in. If I have siding. If it's like brick or stone, then I don't have to do that. And so I'm going to go and do an offset of 3 inches. And I'm going to offset all outside corners in 3. So this is an outside corner, so that goes to the right. This is an outside corner that goes to the right. This one would go to the left. And this one would go to the left. This one would go to the left. This one would go to the left. And as would that one. And so that creates a spot for our siding to go to. This line here, I'm not exactly sure what that, I think it was just an offset for the door window, so we can dump that one here in a minute. This line here is the floor of the inside of the house. And so you really, unless you had x-ray vision, you're not going to be able to see that anywhere. So I'm just going to trim that out and move it just to where the door is for now. And so we'll grab this side and bring it to the side. All right, now if you think about your house, most likely, when you walk out the front door, you're going to take one step down onto like a porch or a stoop or some kind of exit, patio, whatever. And so the floor level in the house is here. We're going to drop down 6 inches because this is 6 inches to the foundation, 1 foot to the floor. So we're going to come down 6 inches. So I'm going to go to my offset tool again, offset down 6, and this will be my front porch. And the front porch, is you can kind of see, is underneath this little roof here. And so I'm just going to bring that across into here. And of course, the siding is not going to go through the porch. So I'm going to go right through my little offsets for my siding. And then I also have another porch on this side of the house. And so that's going to go out. It's about a foot past this. It's a little bit not symmetrical. And so then I can take my offset for my corner mold, and that's not going to go through the foundation. That's going to stop here. So this is the outside corner. I'm going to take that inside one up to the foundation. This is going to go above the porch. This one is going to the other direction, so I'm actually need to stop this one on this side. And then again to the foundation. Up again to the foundation and over. And this one will stop at the foundation also. Now I need to have a column holding up this roof and this roof. And so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to come in 12 inches for the overhang. I can get my line tool to work. 12. And down to the porch. And we'll do like a, 5-inch column here. And we'll run that up to the top. It's going to hold up that roof. This corner mold actually will get covered up by the column. So we're just going to offset this over 2 more inches to get our 5-inch column on this side also. So you can kind of see it looks a little bit, oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Back the train up. I need the one on the side of the door here. I'm going to move that over 2 more inches. And so now I have 5 inches between here and here. That is my column holding up this roof. This roof is actually held up by the little bump out on the side. And so we can trim this out. And so that's called putting in corner mold. Now, if you have brick or stone, you ignore that. And so if I had, say I had like a half wall of brick below the window, I'll just kind of draw a line down here. Let's see, something up like this. And I wanted to have like a base of stone. So then I would take my corner mold and I would stop that above that. And then I want some kind of transition between my siding and my brick. And so I might offset this down, I don't know, 1.5 inches, whatever looks good. And that would be like a ledge. And I'd have siding up here and stone down here. And just for giggles, I'm going to leave that on here so we can kind of hatch that out as we go here. What else do we need to get rid of? If I do have stone, I don't need my foundation line because the stone is inert and it won't rot, so I can run that down to the ground. I think we can get rid of this line now. Yeah, all right. So let's do that. Let's move on to our hatch pattern. So let's look in our layers, see if this drawing has any hatch patterns. I think we made one called elevation I think it was called siding and shingles is what we called it. So we'll quick make a new one for those. I think I might have grabbed the wrong one here. And we'll go siding. And I like to have the siding be the light gray and 0.25. And shingles, which we should have made these already in class. We should have all these already. But this file doesn't have those. And I want that to be the darker gray and 0.25. So we're going to go to our hatch tool, which is right up here, called hatch. I'm going to select that. And I'm going to get some hatch patterns. I'm going to turn off associative for one. I'm going to hit this little arrow over here. And we're going to find a pattern that looks kind of like our shingles. So if I scroll over here, we've got a bunch of them on here. There's a bunch more that we had on our computers at school that we're not going to be able to get to. So it's going to be a little bit tricky making these look good. But I'm going to pick this roof one here. Click OK. And I might, depending on the scale, I can raise or lower the scale to make it look right. So I'm going to pick my points over here. Click on Pick Points. And you can see that's a little bit small. I want to make it bigger than that. So I'm going to right click, go to settings, and we'll make the scale. Let's try 3 and preview. A little bigger. Let's go to 5. So I'm going to go right click settings. We're going to go to 5 on that one. That's good. All right, so now I'm going to do spacebar again, and I've got another one over here. This is a little further back, so what I want to do when I do this one is make that a little smaller. So we'll maybe do 4 on that one since it's a little further away. As the house gets further back, the patterns will get shorter. These two will be about on the same plane, and so I'm going to go back to 5 on this one right here. Actually, yeah, I can do that in a minute. So go back to my properties here. And let's go back to 5, pick points, and select that one in there like that. And that will look a little bit different, so it doesn't look like it's the same one. Thanks, buddy. Sorry, I got to help my little 2-year-old with the tape measure. All right. Okay, so I got that one on there. These two are gabled ends on the ends, so they don't get the siding is actually on the angled line, the hypotenuse. And so that's all I'm going to need for this view for shingles. So I'll right click and enter, and then we'll go over to check our layers here because I don't think I set them right. So those are both on elevation, so we're going to shift and then go to layers and move those to that shingle layer that we just made. Have a darker gray, and looks nice. All right, so we'll go over to siding next. And I'm going to go back to my hatch pattern. And I'm going to click over on this little guy again. And for regular siding, what I just pick is I go to ANSI and I pick ANSI 31. And the lines are on a 45, but I'm going to make them straight so that they're horizontal. That's the best pattern I have found for siding. So I click on ANSI 31, click OK. I'm going to change the angle from 0 to 135, which makes it horizontal. And I think we're going to start around 10 for our scale, see what that looks like. So help him with the tape measure here. Okay, can you help bring it to Tessa? And we'll see what that looks like. So we're going to put that on the front of the house here. And so siding should be about 3 inches tall. And so remember, this was about 4, so that's pretty small. So I need to go a little bit bigger on my siding. So I'm going to go to settings here, and let's try 20. Figure that looks a little more natural. All right, so I did the one closest to me at 20, and so these two will be a little bit further away, so I'm going to use those at like maybe 18. So I'm going to go back to my hatch pattern, ANSI 31, scale here is 18, and then I'll pick this one and this one. And these will be at the same plane because they're underneath the porch. And this will be further back, and this will be further back. So I'll maybe do 16 on this one and 14 on that one. So right click enter, go back to hatch pattern, scale of 16, and pick this guy. And then one more time, scale of 14. And how the measure of how far you move those is kind of arbitrary, just trying to make it look like it's getting further and further away. Kind of gives you that feel that these are tighter and gets a little bit tighter and tighter as they get further away. I've got some board and batten siding up here, so I'm going to put a different pattern that goes vertical here. So I'm going to go back to my hatch patterns, and we're going to go and I can pick them from here, or I can go over to the arrow over here and select them like I did our last time. There's one called metal roof, I think it's called. If I can find it. I don't see it on here. Maybe we'll try this one. Let's go look over here a minute. Not those, not those. I think those are loaded on my school computer. We're going to pick ANSI 32. Actually, maybe this one looks a little bit better. I'll try ANSI 34. Again, we'll keep it at 135. We'll try a scale of 10 again to start. Pick points, and we'll put that up here. So that went the wrong direction. I actually want it to go vertical, so I need to add 90 degrees to that or subtract 90 degrees, which will be 45. I don't like the 3 lines. I thought it was 2. I'm going to change that pattern. Let's try this one. Anyway, I don't love it. Like I said, there's more options out there, but I'm just going to keep that for now. So I kind of do a little different siding up in the peaks there. So that's at stone. If you're going to do stone or brick, like I said, a little sample down here. I'm not really have that in the house, but kind of an idea. So we're going to go back to hatch pattern and find something that looks like brick or stone. There was a gravel one that kind of looked like stone. And you could do stone. If you don't like that, you could try. Hey, go ahead, Stacey. Go, Stacey.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so that's a brick. I'm going to go back to 0 degrees here. And maybe make the scale 2, maybe 1. And I can get it to look something like that. So I got 8. And so there is our shingles, siding, corner mold, brick if you're going to do brick. So those are some options for that. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today, since this video is already getting longer than I want it to be. And so anyway, give that a try for your house. Try to put some windows on, or sorry, some shingles and siding, and see how that goes for you. And we will talk to you guys soon. Catch you later.